14 of 30 of building my AI startup and sharing some thoughts along the way. Now, there's two things that I want to talk about today. One is just your regular reminder that it is supposed to be hard. Nothing worth having, nothing worth accomplishing ever really comes that easy. And when you hit those points of friction, just keep on going. And the other thing is sort of going in a bit more detail around the concept that we talked about yesterday, because I think this is getting really foundational to the way that we approach solving this problem. And that's all about these dynamic prompts, or meta prompts, as some people call them, where in a normal system, you would have a static prompt that then does whatever you want it to do. It could be write me a haiku, and then every time you provide an input, you get a haiku at the back end. What we're going to be doing is having a dynamic prompt which changes based on what the user has provided. So a bit of a recap here, but status quo, you get an input, and that can be sort of from your chat window. That then feeds into a prompt, which in this example, this is static. And then to the model, you sort of get a combination of your input and your static prompt. And then that goes to the model. And then finally, you get your output. Now, that's sort of normal, and that's what happens in most scenarios. What we're going to be doing is changing this portion here. So we still have your input. We have a prompt builder in this case, which is another AI model, which is designed specifically to create the thing that the next step needs to do. And then we go into combine this input with the dynamic prompt with some static, and we have sort of these three pieces all together, and then these three are what goes to the model, and then eventually we get our output here. But what we're seeing from some initial testing is that the output with the dynamic prompt is way better than the output from the normal prompt. And the reason why this is important is because of the experience that we want to give our users. We want them to feel this magical sense of, wow, how did it know exactly what I wanted to do? And how did it get to that specific thing so quickly? And this is slightly different from some of the other models, which have these huge sort of system prompts, which account for all sorts of different edge cases and scenarios, and they're heavily all based around a chat interface. While we probably will have a chat interface, the primary setup is probably going to be more, let's take care of that for you. You don't need to tell us everything you need to do, because we can sort of do these clever things to try and figure that out, and then give you something that's maybe an 8 out of 10 instead of a 3 out of 10, and then you having to sort of work your way up to an 8. And it's super exciting. And from some initial testing and sort of work today, I think that this is going to get us much closer. I think that we'll also be able to keep refining and tweaking both of these different steps to help us get to that output. And we're probably going to use this setup in multiple different places where we have these sort of big hit creations or big hit outputs throughout the agentic process. But that's what we're working on. It's going to be pretty novel stuff, I think, to get some of this working, sort of singing, but I'm really looking forward to it. Cool. And if you have any questions about this, or you want to sort of connect, shoot me an email, drop me a message, leave a comment. Happy to chat with anybody about things that they're doing as well. I'll see you tomorrow.